Today I'd like to talk to you about cognitive dissonance. Have you been in a relationship where you have been left feeling confused? Perhaps you experience sensations of vagueness or anxiety or negative self-worth, yet you don't really know why. If you look back in your past, maybe you were a fairly confident person, decisive and clear-headed. Well, this may mean you're experiencing cognitive dissonance. Hi, I'm Sophia from Trident Wellbeing, and I help people with behavioural and emotional coaching. Just recently, I've been working with a gentleman that came to me post-narcissistic relationship. His self-esteem was at an all-time low. He experienced mood swings, immense sadness and confusion as to why these feelings kept lingering on. After all, the relationship was over. Well, it was over to a degree. You see, what had happened was that for 10 years he'd been with this person. He'd married a toxic personality. Now, the warning signs had been there, but he had chosen to ignore them. After investigating this further, he recognised that his own feelings of low self-worth had played a part in it. He thought maybe he wouldn't get anyone else to care about him, let alone marry him. He was older, and there were no other relationships that he'd been in that he had not felt stuck. Even when they were dating, he'd be left waiting, criticised for personal habits, but he'd only remember the times when his partner was loving, caring, giving praise and being supportive. It was these mixed feelings that created the cognitive dissonance. On the one hand, he was experiencing love, and on the other, abuse. He found it really hard to reconcile in his mind, and coupled with his beliefs about how he wasn't enough, he continued with the relationship all the way through to the marriage. He would probably still be in the relationship if it hadn't become so toxic, and with more and more abandonment, financially bad decisions, and then cheating. His love, his partner was such that he would forgive over and over and over again, and any small glimmer of affection was pounced upon and viewed as love and being sincere. The problem with cognitive dissonance, or simply put confusion, is that we fail to actually recognise what's happening to us. Quite often those from the outside might see the behaviour as toxic, but rarely will they tell us for fear of causing more pain or sticking their nose in where it doesn't belong. This doesn't help them to provide clarity. For those brave few that do speak up, if the cognitive dissonance has taken such a hold over us, then those people can then be viewed as troublemakers, and friendships can disintegrate, with the result that once you again you're left feeling alone and with only the abuser to turn to. If this continues for a long time, we can end up with the physical symptoms associated with stress, like skin breakouts, muscle soreness, headaches, under or overeating, and our health takes a real hit. As anxiety increases, many people go in search of a medical solution, as surely this is somehow a manifestation of something else in our lives. Sadly, that's when it can all become a reality. The reason this happens in relationships is that there is an incongruity between our beliefs, our values, and our behaviours. We believe one thing about ourselves, another about the other person. We have our own values of right and wrong and what's important, and then there is the inconsistent behaviour of our partner and how they display this and how we respond in relation to this with our own values. For example, we may think that we're unworthy and only deserve what we get. Yet underneath, we value love, we value connection and communication and honesty. But our partner feeds these mixed emotions with some acts of love and other antics of displaying no remorse or accountability, which goes against open communication and honesty. And at times you suspect blatant lies even, but can't prove it. So what can you do about this? Firstly, challenge your beliefs. What is going on? We create a belief because there is some sort of gain or advantage. So now is the time to challenge it. Are those acts of love really loving, or is there an expectation afterwards? This may require breaking it right down to individual times and writing it down. How did it make you feel each time? You can list the good and the bad and see which makes you feel the best. Is there proof? How many nights were they home late? Was there a lie that you caught them out on? Can they meet deadlines, pay bills on time when they want to? Once you have examples and counterexamples, notice how valid they are. Do they do this behaviour with other people or just with you? Have other people noticed? Be careful here, as this can add sometimes to the confusion. If you challenge a belief, seek how authentic it is. Who decided it? Even if it was you. Are you really an authority on this thing? Was that a real act of love or service that you saw? I like to take it a step further by asking my clients to list their top 3 core values and see how the behaviour they're experiencing fits in with these. For example, if a core belief is connection, are you feeling connected? If a core value is honesty, is there honesty in their communication or their behaviour? If it is freedom, do you feel free to be who you are and loved for who you are? Or do you try and be what you think your partner needs? By doing these things, it can help clear up the cognitive dissonance. And once that is done, the fog can lift and you can make clear decisions. If you like what I have to say, please subscribe and share, because you never know when this may help someone else. Until next time, I'm sending you much love.